Alright, hey guys, Joey, welcome back. Haven't posted a video in a while, or made one, so I thought I'd finally do that. So we'll take a quick look at the tank. We'll just do a generic update of what's happened over the past 2 months, which will disappoint you because it's not very much. But we'll start with any changes I made under the hood here. So the first thing I changed is I added the second chamber to the calcium reactor. I just needed more media. I'm going through, you can see it already dropped. I'm going through maybe 4 inches every single month. Reactor pH is 6.6 right now, and it's about 90 milliliters per minute. So I needed to get this second chamber in there to hopefully keep it up a little bit because that just is sinking so fast. Let's see, what else do we have here? Next thing is I made a couple modifications to the CO2 scrubber, which you'll see in a video if I haven't already posted it already. I added the Versa over here, which the first Versa that I got was garbage. It was really loud. This one, they sent me a replacement. Much better, but I have it on a super slow speed. Initially I got that to replace the Skimmer, but when looking at it, the true specs, it's just not worth it. They advertise that it can go up to 200 milliliters per minute, or actually 300 they advertise, but it can only actually do 200, so a little bit of false advertising there. Support was okay, but it took them around 3 weeks to send me out the replacement after they said it would ship out immediately. So I'm glad it wasn't for anything that I truly needed to depend on, because I mean that was pretty dumb that it took that long. So that one is connected to some calc water. That's also helping to supplement my pH and supplement the alkalinity and calcium. So I have a 2-gallon container here, and I'm dosing 500 milliliters per day, which is really not a lot for this tank volume, but it helps to supplement some of my ATO consumption, and also that Skimmer is getting close to the max it could do, which is 120 milliliters per minute. So I'm getting about 10 days out of this right now. Other than that, there's not too much else that's changed under here. Added the CO2 scrubber, which is awesome. Keeps my pH above 8 on average. High, it's going to 8.2, something like that. The PC fans still doing amazing to cool the tank, just those little cheapo fans. And then, yeah, UV, that's good, that's there. And the Clarity, just doing its job. You can see this little container if you're wondering about that. My salinity was low, so I just fill up a container and then drop it in there and let the salt slowly dissolve over a couple days. And my pickle jar is also doing good still. Gotta clean it out. Leaving for vacation soon, so need to just clean that one out. Okay, so in the tank, not much has changed other than added a couple more corals, and obviously there's been more growth. That's changing, I guess. This is what happens when you've kind of reached, you know, somewhat capacity in the tank. These updates are really boring. There's nothing, I'm not one of those people that adds a bunch of stuff every single month. So even though I want to add stuff every single month, right, Buns? But Buns doesn't let me. So just go over a few of the highlights with some of the corals. You got the anemones, they're doing good over here. They haven't decided to move yet. You got this Setosa, doing great. This one I think is some kind of tort, but it's doing pretty good as well. You got the pink lemonade in the back here, doing very well. Finally started to branch out. I've had that one, this tank's almost 2 years old. It's about to turn 2 years old next month. I've had that one for almost the entire time, maybe a year and a half, a little bit over. What else do we got here? This one here, this Millie, A portion of it on the other side started to die just kind of randomly in the middle, but it's coming back now. Then you have the Walt Disney. I fragged this. So that's where I fragged it, where those new little nubs are sticking out. That was maybe 6-7 weeks ago now. So its growth is coming back pretty good. Color's pretty good. You probably can't tell from this angle, but the other side looks a little bit better. Got some other corals over here. There's coral over there. There's fish. Here's the orange passion. Orange passion's not doing too bad. Just really slow grower. Here are the frags that I took. Sold a couple of these green Polyporas. They're looking a little bit better since they've been on the rack here. Here's some Walt Disney frags. This was just kind of the scraps, so just made this small frag. Decent sized frag. They look better from the other side as well. This is kind of the dull, just green looking side. Then you have the Master Yoda, but I'm pretty sure it's just a Paletta paint tip. Don't know what this one's called, but it's awesome. What else do we have here? This one is blue, but from the other side it looks a lot more green. And that one's getting pretty big. Got some nice Zoas down here, along with the Fruity Pebbles Monty. Come on. Can we get it to focus? There you go, Fruity Pebbles Monty. Also looking pretty good, starting to melt out and take over that rock. This is a new coral that I got right here. Just green, as all my corals are. They're just green. I didn't realize when I purchased this coral that it was encrusting Monty. I very much acknowledge that it is now, so I need to remove it before it kills everything. Bird's nest in the background doing awesome. I think this one's a green goblin. Finally starting to take off as well. This one, the recovery from almost nothing. So that's gonna take off, start growing up. Got some candy canes, another green coral, some more green. Interstellar mushrooms, those were like nothing. They're finally starting to do something with their lives. Ghani, doing good. Got some Recordias, some Zoas. Piece of the Polypora, which I call the broccoli. That's just kind of landed there, so I'm gonna see if it encrusts and grows. And eventually it will get killed by this torch. Yeah, alongside view. Looks a little cloudy when you back up, but it's pretty clear for once. Got the Bonsai. This one grows super slow. Not sure why. Now you can see kind of the size of this goblin. All the little nubs that are ready to grow up on that one. See a little bit better the Walt Disney frags, but not really. Let's see what else we got for this view. This chalice, and then just some scrap Zoas. Plate. This coral I tried to glue on the glass, but someone knocked it down, so it's actually just a duplicate of two corals I already have. Torches are doing good. What else? What else? Some more views from this side. This bird's nest is doing awesome. This chalice just never really grows, but still looks pretty good. Oregon Tort starting to grow up. This is some kind of Efflo. Don't know what kind. What else? Here's the other side of that coral. See how it's more green on this side? You can see some of the growth tips. Then you got the Paletta, I'm gonna call it the Paletta pink tip, but whatever, Master Yoda or Paletta pink tip. This one here, as I was saying in my previous unrecorded version, has more purple tips under whites, but under blue, Looks a little bit more on the blue side. Princess Peach, which I just got, hasn't really done anything yet. Only had it about 2 weeks. You have the Pikachu. The one on the right I've had for around 5 months. And the one on the left I've had 2 weeks. Got another piece of it, so just put those together. They will eventually merge together. And that left side was super dull. You can see the color difference, so it's starting to come back. You can see it around the tips there. You have GSP over here, which is the best GSP ever. No one has greener GSP than me. You have this Millie, which always looks super washed out. Still hasn't really started to grow any bigger yet. Another new coral, which is kind of tucked right in there. Doesn't look like anything yet, so nothing to talk about. PC Rainbow, finally starting to grow up. So I mounted it horizontal instead of vertical like everyone does. I mean, it based out a lot, but you know, hasn't obviously started to grow up. But after, when did I do that? Maybe like 8-9 months ago, I mounted it like that, and it's finally starting to have these nubs growing upwards. Here is the Walt Disney from the other side. Looks a little bit better in person. The tops are kind of getting washed out a little bit here. Oh yeah, here's the strawberry shortcake. I should have showed that from the other side. And here's what I was talking about, that coral dying just in the center there. You can see right in there, that's the death, but it's recovering. This is a duplicate of the coral that's on the other side as well, but it's starting to get pretty big. What else? This one, hard to show on camera, but purple on the tips. This one came back from basically nothing after it was getting stung by the anemone. I really like this one because the little green highlighter type looking tips. Polyps aren't super great, but I kind of feel like this one is a sleeper, and eventually it's gonna get better once it grows up. Not really sure what Millie this is, but pretty good. Pretty good looking Millie. Better from top down. Don't know where this coral is, but finally doing something, starting to get some more branches. This is the Razzmatazz, I think. Pretty slow growing as well. Here's the broccoli colony. I don't like this one because of all the death here that it creates under itself as it tries to grow upwards. Here's another copy of the PC Rainbow that I got, so I did the same thing. Just put it right there because I don't have a better spot for it. The other side of the pink lemonade, you can see all those little branches. I would expect this one to really start taking off in the next 2 months here. Other side of the Setosa. And here's my experiment. I attached that left side that was just floating around the tank. I think I said this in my last video, and perfectly merged together now, and it's starting to grow. We have some miscellaneous mushrooms that are taking over. Eventually I'll just have to murder all of these. You got the Duncans, some clownfish, leathers, and I think that's pretty much it. The pumps are doing absolutely great. I love the pumps. Way better than the MP40s. What else? Oh, the Hydros is doing awesome as well. I've had no issues with the Hydros. So that is an amazing piece of technology that everyone should get. I haven't put my return pump on it yet, only because I don't have long enough cable. The problem with the way I designed the stand here is everything needs to run. You know, if you're coming from this end, it needs to run 6 feet, then down probably 4 feet, then across another 6 feet. So it takes a lot of cables to connect things up, but if I were to do this one again, I would have put the electrical box here and just ran the pumps or the plumbing along this way, which really wouldn't have been a big deal. It just would have been a little bit more plumbing. But it is what it is now. So we're going to Colorado Springs this upcoming week, and we'll see if We end up purchasing a new house, so this tank might be coming down in the near future. And we'll see what we replace it with. All right, so other than that little tour there, tank's doing great, as you can see. And alkalinity is running about 8.6 right now. I need to check it today. Phosphate's around 0.1 or so. And then of course I'm continuing my moonshine. Tank is powered by moonshine. If you don't know what moonshine is, then you should go ahead and look at my other video, so then you can grow some corals too. Not sponsored, but I wish you would, so I can get stuff for free, but we'll see if that happens. Anyways, any questions, comments, compliments, put them in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.